I once heard Ted Kennedy say, I asked him one time, we're just chatting, is there anything you regret during your public career that you could have legislatively done differently? And I'll never forget saying that he regretted deeply that he didn't pick up Richard Nixon's idea on a individual mandate bill of universality. The benefits weren't too great in the bill, and many people opposed it because it wasn't rich enough. But he always regretted that they didn't do that. You build on things. And while certainly it was disappointing to lose the public option, we weren't going to miss the opportunity to put something in place. You can always come back and build on it. True. But if you destroy it altogether, you have to start de novo. And that is painful, as we've learned. You know.
I mean, it was a basic decision you had to make. Myself and a lot of other people, and people who were in Congress before me, had spent their whole career trying to figure out how to move to national health care, single payer, public option, however you do it, to get there. And then we were faced with the reality, with the Senate bill coming, and we couldn't move our bill. Right. Do you get 20 or 30 million people into the healthcare system that can't get their take because being a woman is a pre-existing condition?
Yeah.
Do you change this or don't you change it? Yeah. You hold out, we made a decision. The Speaker wasn't going to have any other decision made, but we made the decision that we were going to go with this bill. Yeah. And we would have loved it. You know, I spent, and my father before me, and you know, on national health care. It just wasn't in the cards, but a lot of good could happen. Yeah. And this system, I still believe, with this president, is going to lead you eventually there because states are understanding there's economies and inclusiveness. Right. The exceptions get really expensive in health care. And so we'll see. I mean, obviously it's not going to happen tomorrow, but the fact of the matter is a lot of people, you know, who spent many years in the Congress fighting for this had to make that decision and go home and tell their people that I couldn't do it.
And Julie, you remember how difficult it was to pass the bill in the House in the first place.
Yeah.
We were, the three of us sat there, we were 5-6 votes short. Remember? Nancy said, we're 5-6 votes short. And that led to the discussion with Bart Stupak and others. Yeah. And because there was enough belief we had to, at long last, bring health care into the homes, health care insurance of everybody, or virtually everybody, that we took the steps, including that one. We have to remember how difficult it was to pass.
Yeah. And how fragile it was. Ted Kennedy, the election to replace him was won by Scott Brown, a Republican in Massachusetts. All of a sudden, the 60 votes are gone. And so what Henry said is absolutely the case. You lose one of those votes, and you're done. Just an academic exercise at that point.
You want to add to it? Don't forget, Social Security had a hard time when it was first introduced. Look at it today. Let me build on it. Medicare as well. The basic point is you can't have perfection. You do the best you can with what you got, and you build on it afterwards, and that's the basic premise.
So I want to move on to implementation. Clearly one of the biggest problems was that the law was so big and complicated that it was hard to explain for you and easy for opponents to demagogue. What could you have done differently after it passed to help build support? Because it seems that you know, a lot of it, that was where the opposition had a chance to really foment itself.
Well, marketing. I mean, I say respectfully, I think we did a terrible job of educating the American public about what this was. It's a complicated subject matter for even the brightest and most knowledgeable people to understand. And I don't think we did anywhere near the job we should have done of educating people about why this was valuable, how it would work. And then, of course, you had the problem in terms of the implementation that was a mess and led further to the demagoguery. But despite that, you know, the worst month I think we had, and someone's mentioned already, was that month of August in 2009, after we had finished the bill in the Labor Committee on July 15th. And that it took time. Obviously, Max was trying to get Republicans in that committee. And so it went to October. That month, it was just a dreadful, dreadful month. Yeah. But Henry said something earlier that needs reinforcing. Despite what was terrible politics, when members came back in September, there was no shrinking away from the goal to go forward. Yeah. Normally that might happen. I don't know if you remember what it was like in August of 2009, but the town hall meetings were devastating. But people came back, committed as ever, to make this happen.
We were not tough enough in marketing it.
Yeah.
I have a view, Republicans like to win. They don't like to govern. Democrats like to govern, we don't like to win.